Good. Happy New Year. How are you doing?
Happy New Year to you too. Very fine.
Fine, okay. I
Very
can
relaxed.
tell. I don't know if you are. I just can see from the exterior. So I want us to start this on a very casual note. Keith James Seruyange. So this James beat. When did it become your name? Because most of the people I've been interacting with, I know you call you Keith Seruyange.
No, I've actually always used James.
Uh,
Of course, because most people say James, I tell him, it's okay, use Keith. But it's Keith James.
It's James.
James, to be
James,
precise, yeah.
Yes.
My Wales Rugby Union name.
Yeah, I understand you had the field that in Wales. But James, so what's the short form? Jimmy, Jimbo, Jamie?
I know.
No
Let's stick
short
with
form.
James. There's no short form.
There's no short form. Okay, so you've played rugby for a while. And by a while, I mean this 2020 will make it at least a dozen years. At least a dozen years that I know I've done to play rugby, which means you've been playing it for since you are a small boy, so to say. Let's have a small conversation about your rugby days as a small boy.
Those are one of my favorite days in playing rugby, because you got a chance to play pure rugby. There's nothing like they're paying you to play, they don't force you to train, like there's no politics in any way. You're just having fun, like you're loving the game, and you're playing with your friends. Because that's when I say playing with the Adnans, the Gastins, Sempewa, Ernest, Bruno, quite a number of people. Some retired, others are still playing, but it was a very fun time, because at that point, we truly understood ourselves. Like with every slight movement, you knew what the other person was going to do. And there was like complete trust. In that, till now, when I'm drifting with Adnan, he's not really a winger, but if I'm on the wing with him, he can tell me to move, he has a gap. And 100%, I'll know that he has that gap. And I'll just go, without even thinking about it twice.
I'm having a hard time thinking about Adnan hitting gaps, seeing him right now. It's not just running in my mind, but away from that, you were schools league champions in 2010.
Yeah.
You ideally gave way to the past decade as regards winning a school's rugby title. That year, Budo exception, they did not consider try unless I'm getting my facts wrong. Right?
No, we did not. It was actually a very big feat for us, because I think we considered 2 penalties against Smack in the first game, a penalty against Smack in the second, and like a few penalties in the final, plus I think one in the 53 win in the semi-final. So yeah, it was actually a very good game, very good team. Because imagine you have a team where you have good centers, then it's just sweeping the line. You have like maybe Marvin and Adnan, or Marvin and Bruno. That's just before you get the fullback. Because I was playing 15, but I barely tackled. So I can't really take any glory for that. It was very good flankers that covered the line perfectly. So I was well protected at the back there.
Where are all these guys right now?
The majority of them are playing, but okay, at least they played. Marvin, he had his injuries, so he's out for reasons everyone can really understand. Adnan has been on a bit of sabbatical, but he's coming back to play. He's coming back strong. You know how work can get in the way of the rugby schedule. Bruno said focus on his work and family. Sempe White still with us. So most of them are around. But the majority of the 2010 team, I believe, is focusing on their careers. I think we're maybe like 5 people who are still playing. It would be me, Augustine, Ernest is on and off, Adnan, and Sempewa. I think those plus I think the people in lower classes, because of course I focus on the people who are in my class. Of course, I had other players like Musa. I think Musa was on that team. Shama is back for Warriors. There are quite a number that who are on and off, but who are sort of there.
While you're talking about this whole school thing, you're very passionate talking about how you had so much trust in the guys around you, you're doing it for fun, which begs the question, has the trust reduced as you got introduced into big boy rugby, and has the fun reduced? Is it too serious and you have to hold back a bit?
The difference is, before, when we're playing the schools league, remember, I've played with these people since we started learning the sport. So the learning curve has been the same for most of us. Of course, there are exceptional players and whatnot, but you've really played with them for a long time. When you play with the same people and train with them, you live with them for, let's say, since S3. There's that bond you build. In comparison to the league, when you move to other leagues and you keep changing teams or they keep changing the team that you play with, it takes some time to build that trust. So you won't really have the chance to build it if you keep changing the teams or if they keep rotating the squads as much. For example, now for me, I played in Impis. We had the bond because the people I had moved with from school. Then moved to Cobs. So you're starting to learn new bonds. Then now imagine you're still learning the bonds. Then I remember I moved to play for a team in Wales during my university education. And those are new bonds as well. You learn how each other person plays. Then you come back and you have new players. Like I didn't play with Mukwaya before I left. But now you have to learn how he plays, how he moves and everything. One person I know who at least I could still move with, play with seamlessly was Aredo. Because we played a bit of university rugby together. Mm-hmm. So at least we still had the same movement when we joined Cobs.
Mm-hmm. You've spoken about Impis, Cobs, then out in Wales, back. How do you? I'm sure there are a few differences you've noticed from when you were at Impis and your first when at Impis, then when you went away, and right now with Cobs. There are differences you've noticed between then and now. What are those outstanding things that you probably see that changed and maybe need to come back, or changed and it's good they are gone?
Right now, okay, the changes are sort of subtle. Not very many, they're sort of subtle. But one positive thing, I think the game has become much faster, which is good, because you see even props trying to run and get fit. So it's actually a very good thing. What I noticed that there's a bit too much superstardom, if that's the correct word. The whole teamwork thing is reducing day by day. Everyone wants to be the one who puts in the try. Everyone wants to be the one who makes the run. Everyone wants to make the tackle themselves, defend by themselves. But if you notice, from way back, I'll give an example of the partnership between Stone, Mudola, and Alan. It reached a point whereby they were so seamless that it didn't matter who scored, who did anything. As long as together, as a unit, something happened. But here you'd have that last pass you have to make. But you realize there's a slight gap that you may be able to take, and you want to go for the glory. And that's just making work harder for everyone. First of all, you end up having injuries that are not necessary. You end up starting fights, starting. And you make life difficult for yourself. I'll give an example of the game over the weekend. I think Heathens, Warriors, where Stone had broken. He had one man to go. Scott had broken. He had one man to go. Scott being Scott would have easily overpowered the person. But decided to make the pass, do the easy thing. They didn't score because of certain issues with hands here and there. But that's the kind of rugby that we had left behind, actually. That if someone has a chance to score, in a better position to score than you, even if you have that sort of chance to do it, but he's in a better position, you offload to him and let him go.
Well, of course, not very many people see the easy thing, like you're saying, but where do you see yourself fitting in the new Cobs setup? Because I know I'm one of the people who has been calling for your name not appearing on that team sheet, not even the second team. So where do you see yourself fitting in this new Cobs setup? Because like you're saying, I don't think there are very many kids in there, and I used to be a terrific winger, but Cobs can assemble a 15-man team of only wingers, from number 1, number 15 of only wingers. Where do you see yourself fitting in this Cobs team?
The beauty with competition, it brings out the best in you. So it's either you to try and fight and overcome that, or you shatter and fall off. Now, at the moment, I can't really blame the selection team because my training has been inconsistent. But of course, moving forward, I want to see how I can start training again and see if I'm good enough to make that team. So it will be a challenge to myself. If I can put in the work, and if I'm good enough to actually make the side ahead of anyone. And to also come down to, when you get the chance to play, make use of every second you get. Because before, when I was starting out, before I started making regular squats, I had that thing where I would be on the bench with, most times it would be, of course, Augustine. And we tell ourselves, like, when you get on, minimum, you have to score. Or you have to set up a try. Like, you have to have an effect on the score in one way or another. Either you're the third guy before the pass, before the try, or you're the one scoring the try. You have to make sure you make a difference. Because there's getting onto pitch, and no one realizes that you actually played. But if you do 3 minutes, and people remember that you actually got onto that pitch, it shows that even off the bench, you're effective. So that gives the coach a starting point when he's making his team. Like, if he can do this off the bench, what can he do if he starts? Yeah, so right now it's going to be like more effort and more commitment to the team.
And finally, this is a question I'm going to ask every rugby player actually that I get to chat with. There are openings this year, as we've heard from different proclamations, that we are splitting the 7th and 15th players and programs, so, which means there are openings that in the 15th setup. Do you see yourself as one of the candidates?
At the moment, I don't see myself playing for the national team. Because I did it. It was quite fun, quite interesting. But to be honest, I wasn't happy with selection most of the time. I won't lie. It reached a point where it seemed like there are set teams in someone's mind and it's hard to change them. Though at least I gave credit, Tobert gave me chances, at least I traveled with the team. Getting onto pitch was a different issue, but at least I got to travel with the team and play a few games. And right now, the national teams, I think they need a lot of commitment, especially the sevens team, which I think it's better for people, especially come out of the universities, or people who have actually the free time to do it, to actually get in there and put in the work. Because right now where we are, it's sort of like to coincide with work a lot. The 15th team with a call-up, probably I would train, but I'm not really enthusiastic about joining the national team at the moment. It's a weird thing, but so it doesn't sound appealing to me at the moment. And at least the good thing is that we have a very good selection of players, so I don't feel like I'm letting down the country in any way at all.
So you don't think by you not turning up, you won't miss anything much?
I can't say that for sure. But I know that people can feel enough what Uganda needs.
It's been an interesting question, but before we end, I need to know one last thing. You've played for the country on the service level international. Should we expect you back in at least say a year and a half or two?
That will be up to the coach.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I would try to show up for my club. Because if at all they see it fit to call me up, I wouldn't say no. That's the thing, I wouldn't say no. Though I'm not really expecting it at the moment.
I really want to wish you good luck, but you also aren't giving me reason enough to wish you good luck because you just want to try these things. But nonetheless, I hope you make more Cobs teams, not actually box, but Cobs teams. And I hope to see you in Cobs against Heathens.
Right.